Hello everybody, I am Salty and welcome to another video on my channel. Today I'm doing an analysis of every set being released later this year that has been confirmed so far. This does not include two rumours, one of which I made a video about on Tuesday and another which is on my Instagram. Now, according to Lego.com, which is where I'm getting all the information for all of these sets, as they now have set images across every version of the Lego.com website that I know of. And also, a little quick note is that these new sets will be coming on August 1st, the majority of them except, I think, the Razor Crest and the Baby Yoda and Mandalorian Brickheads. I think they are the only two which are not being released on August 1st for Europe, or at least the UK, whereas the rest, all the other sets are being released on September 1st for the US. So for example, General Grievous' Starfighter is being released on the 1st of August in the UK and the 1st of September in the US. So we have all these set images for all of these sets, which I'll be putting on screen while I am talking about them. But yeah, so first up here we have the Anakin's Jedi Interceptor. This will retail for £25 in the UK. I do not know the US prices, but I will throw them on screen. So you can see here on the box art that it does have some very nice box art with the Darth Vader on top, and it only includes R2-D2 and Anakin, which was expected. Now if we do look at the Anakin Skywalker minifigure, you can see that it is using a new face print that we've not seen in a while. I think it might be the same face print that we saw in the previous Anakin's Jedi Starfighter instead of the Jedi Interceptor, but I cannot confirm that. Now the torso here is the same torso that we saw in the Duel on Mustafar set, so it is ruined. Now this is obviously not the kind of torso that we want, however it's what we're getting, so unless LEGO releases some sort of statement or update showing that these have got, this figure and the Obi-Wan figure have got different torsos, then I think this is what we're going to be getting, which isn't an issue. I mean, it is an issue, but like it's not like game breaking, world changing, or whatever you want to say. So the actual Interceptor itself does look very good. It is an updated design. It's not changed that much from the previous version, however it is a very nice design, and for anybody that doesn't already have one of these Interceptors, such as myself, I'll definitely be picking this up. It is very detailed and looks very nice. The cockpit can move backwards, so your Jedi can escape, and R2-D2 just plops into the side. On the back of the box, you can see that you can play it in LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, and you can also shoot some flick-fire missiles from the bottom. These wing flaps also do move. And then the next set we have is the 501st Legion Clone Troopers. This set was revealed on April 2nd, or April the 2nd. And it does include 3 501st Clone Troopers, 2 Battle Droids, and 1 501st Airborne Trooper, or Air Trooper, Jet Trooper, I don't know what you want to call it, but that's what I'm calling it. So this does include the ATAT and the Bark Speeder for the builds in this set. Now I do think that these are both really good builds. The Bark Speeder is a beefed up newer design than what we've had previously, and the ATAT is very similar to the 2019 20th anniversary one that we saw on Kashyyyk. Not on Kashyyyk, we saw it set on Kashyyyk, and that was based off the 501st ATAT, which released in 2013, I think, for the Clone Wars. Now this set is improved from previous sets, as it does have more detail on the front with that slope piece that you can see, as well as the rotating antenna, which are not as tall as the 20th anniversary one, because I did find that they were quite tall personally. They didn't bother me, but they were just a little bit tall. Now the front of the Bark Speeder is a little bit pointy, but I guess that's what they were going for, so you can't really fault them there. But I do think the main flaw of this set is the gun on the ATAT, as it is just a measly stud shooter. I think that it could be a much bigger, better weapon to be using. Now this set does look like it has quite a few stickers on the side of the legs that you can see, and also on the front there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stickers, I think. So yeah, that's probably 6, it's probably 7, 8, 9, 10 in total, which isn't bad, but is a lots of stickers in this £25 set. There's no longer a trooper on the Bark Speeder. Now you can see that there is a weapons clip on the back of the ATAT, which was a lot more difficult to see before because it had the macro binoculars on, but that does also show that the clone trooper is holding the macro binoculars, so we will be getting a pair of those included in this set. Battle droids are nothing new. One curved arm, one straight arm, and a normal blaster, and every clone except one has got a regular blaster, and the one that's got a non-medium sized blaster has got the long blast rifle with another piece on the end. The AT-AT does have articulation, which you can see in this image, and then there is a photo of all of the minifigures included. I do think that the 501st Air Trooper, Jet Trooper is probably the best figure in this set because it's a unique figure, whereas the other clones I do think are good, but they're not unique because they're not the first type of 501st clone trooper we have had. Despite the fact though, I do think that this is an amazing set. You can also see that you can play it in LEGO Star Wars Skywalker Saga, as is true for the majority, if not all of these sets. But I do believe that is it, and then we just get the photo of these sets broken and then being played with. And then at the very end here we've got the actual dimensions for the set, so you can see how long the Bark Speeder is, and I think this other image should have how tall and how wide the AT-AT is in comparison with the minifigure as well. The next set we have is the AAT or Armoured Assault Tank set. Now this set is £35 in the UK, and again the US price will be on screen now. Now this is a very nice tank. I do really like this tank in universe, and this set is quite similar to the previous one that we did get, however it is in the same colour scheme as the Clone Wars one, because this is of course a Clone Wars set. It does include a 332nd Clone Trooper, which is being named Ahsoka's Clone Trooper, as well as 2 Kashyyyk battle droids, which are being named Normal Battle Droid and AAT Driver Battle Droid. Now I don't think that these droids are actually a good inclusion in the set. I think they should have included just 2 regular battle droids, or maybe 2 pilots, or maybe 2 pilots and a commander, or maybe 1 commander and 1 pilot, but it is what it is, and they're not bad droids either way. So it does of course include the new Ahsoka, which is amazing. It has such good printing on the torso and on the legs, and the headpiece is brand new. It has the little metal bit on her forehead, and the face printing for the Ahsoka figure is absolutely amazing. Now the actual tank itself does open up so that you can put 2 battle droids in it, one in the top where you can actually see, and one in the middle where you can't see unless you open up the flap. Now it does have 2 spring-loaded shooters on the front, as well as the 5 faux cannons, 2 on each side and 1 on the top. Personally I think the one on the top is a little bit too long, however you can always just remove a few pieces if you think that it is too long yourself. I'd probably keep this the same length personally, but that's just me. Now you can rotate the arms and the main turret, the side gun and the main turret to face different positions. However, I don't think that the main turret can be facing upwards for very long, due to it being on a weight-based hinge, so it will always drop back down if you let go of it. Oh wait, no, in this other photo you can see that it's actually pointing upwards. I was wrong there. But the other side cannons can be facing anywhere at any one time, and I think this does add a very nice set. Now as you can see in this photo here, it is facing upwards and it does look like it's almost floating, and I think this is very important for the actual look of the set because it's a real life photo as opposed to the box images and the white background images that we see usually. So I do think that this set in particular does work really well with the real life version, so you can actually see the set and compare it to the minifigures. Now the next set that we have up is the General Grievous Starfighter. Now this set is £75 in the UK, which is a little bit pricey considering it does only have 487 pieces, and it does not include any unique minifigures, because the General Grievous is the same one that we've been receiving for quite a while, which is white, as well as the Obi-Wan Kenobi in this set. It is using the same torso and maybe even the same face as the one from the Jewel of Mustafar set. Now the actual starfighter itself is really nice. It does have a hidden compartment where you can put General Grievous's lightsabers, and the cockpit does slide forwards so that you can get your minifigures in and out in a almost movie style accurate way. There is a spring-loaded shooter on the bottom, and by the looks of things there is only one spring-loaded shooter on this, which is a little bit unusual because usually they put them in even numbers, but this is a bit of an odd number one. And there is also included a 212th Airborne Trooper, which looks like to have new leg printing and foot printing, which is quite nice, and I do believe that it's also got a different coloured waist skirt than before, because I do believe that the previous one was a different shade of grey. Now included, you can see that this set is broken in this image, and then it is on the same rug where everyone's fighting Grievous. Now this set doesn't look as nice in the action pose as the AAT, however I think that's mainly because of the background. But I do think this is a really nice set, due to not owning a previous General Grievous Starfighter, because when they were released I was very young and I couldn't buy one. So I do think that this is a very nice set to actually have. I will probably be picking this one up on August 1st, because in the UK I can pick it up on August 1st. And I think this is a very nice set to have. So it does include the General Grievous, which if you don't already have one is an amazing minifigure. The Obi-Wan, which I'll probably be using my 2014 General Grievous Wheelbike Obi-Wan with in this set if I'm going to use this in some sort of mock, because that Obi-Wan did not include a lightsaber like this one does, which is very important, and the 212th Airborne Trooper look amazing. It's such a good minifigure to actually see, and I do really like it included in this set. The next set that we have up is the Knights of Ren transport ship, otherwise known as the Night Buzzard. It is £65 in the UK, which makes it slightly cheaper than a General Grievous Starfighter, but it does include more pieces at £595. Now, this set does include 3 minifigures, which are the 2 remaining Knights of Ren that we've not previously got in any set, as well as an Episode 9 Rey. Now, this set does have the background of Pisana, and as you can see, it does have 2 spring-loaded shooters on the front. It is quite a long ship. Like I said in my first analysis of this set, when I first saw them, it is quite a long ship, and it is rather big for what it is. Now, I do think that this is probably going to be one of the least selling sets out of this wave, due to it being from Episode 9 and more people liking the prequels and the Clone Wars. However, it is obviously not the worst set on this, otherwise I would say that. You can also play it in LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, so I don't know if that's the actual ship itself or if it's the 2 Knights of Ren included, but that does seem like a unique way of selling DLC for a game. Now, you can also see this set does lend well to being in a realistic environment to show how a child will be playing with it, which is good because then a parent can go, wow, I like the look of that, and my child can play with it. As you can see on the bottom of the set, it does have some skis, which is very nice because then it can actually slide around or be swooshed around very easily. Now, the 2 of the sets that we have here were not in the initial leaking of the set wave, and that is the Resistance, one of which is the Resistance ITS Transport. It is £90 in the UK, and it is a very unique ship. It is based on Galaxy's Edge, which is why on the box art it does say transported from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Trading Outpost. It includes 4 minifigures, being V, Maradi, Lieutenant Beck, an astromech droid, and a Gonk power droid. The astromech droid is black, which is usually a colour scheme that we see with Imperial and First Order astromech droids, so maybe this is a spy. And there is also a green Gonk droid, which is very weird, and it does not look like the other Gonk droids that we have received from LEGO. This set does include a lot of stud shooters. It includes 4 on the front, and I do believe it includes some more on the back, if I can just get an image of that. Yeah, it does include 4 more on the back. You can open this set up to put your minifigures in and store some containers. The front guns can rotate, and you can load more cargo in this. I do believe that this is more of a cargo ship than an actual personnel transport by the looks of things, but that is just me. Now, personally, I don't think this set's going to sell very well because it is from Galaxy's Edge, first of all, which a lot less people will recognise this set than, say, the Episode 9 set, because more people saw Episode 9 than have been to Galaxy's Edge. I think also the price point in the set, it's $90 or $100 or £90 for 900 pieces. There is a good price to piece count, however the 4 minifigures, well, 4 characters, 2 actual minifigures in the set might weigh some people down, especially if they're looking at this set for playability. Now the other surprise set that we had this wave was the Death Star Final Duel. It is again £90, same as the previous set, includes slightly less pieces at 775, and looks absolutely amazing. It is a remake of the previous Death Star Final Duel set and does include the same minifigures, however with updated designs, as the Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker and Emperor Palpatine have got noticeably different designs, especially Darth Vader and Palpatine, as I do believe they have got, well, Darth Vader I think has got the new headpiece, which was not around at the time of the previous one, and Palpatine has got the new headpiece. Now there are little statues that are at the front of the Final Duel, like the Death Star throne room. Now the door is a lot more bulked up than the previous version, and I think it does add a more regal feel to the actual set itself, as this does open the gateway to the set behind it. This set also includes, besides Darth Vader's, Luke's lightsaber and Palpatine's electric things, it does include Palpatine's lightsaber and some handcuffs for Luke. Now the actual positions of the reactor where Palpatine gets thrown down and the little walkway have been swapped around from the previous set. Before the walkway was on the left and now it's on the right hand side. However, the walkway has actually been improved greatly, as it is now a more secure, it's being held up more securely, so when it is dropped down it will fall just the same. And the previous one, it does look like that it has stickers all the way around it on the inside and the outside. There are Palpatine's throne, does look very nice, and by the looks of things it can spin, and there are also some screens next to Palpatine's throne with the plans of the Death Star on. The actual box art for this set is very nice. It does show a confidential stamp, which is a bit unusual, and it does also include Luke and Vader fighting. Now there's a picture of all the minifigs included in the set, and then there's another version of the same photo that we just saw, except it's not the box art. Did the other sets have that on the box art? Did I just not notice? There's the set that can collapse so that it does become a lot smaller. There are the stairs which can be thrown. There is what looks like a storage area for Palpatine's stuff, like his cape and his lightning. There's also a little catapult feature for Luke to jump up, which is also seen in the in the Palpatine's Arrest set. Now, a set that we actually did have revealed and was more expensive than the previous two, it was the AT-AT, £140, and again the dollar amount, like with all of these, is going to be on the screen. So you can see that it does include 6 minifigures for that price, which is very nice, and on the box art it does show it is to represent the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, Episode 5, and what most people consider to be the best Star Wars film. Now on the front it does include 4 cannons which do not shoot anything, as well as 2 spring-loaded shooters, which I think does look very nice. As you can see, it does have a new design, I do believe, for the neck, which looks really nice, and Luke can be winched up from the bottom of the set, which makes this very unique in general. Now included, as well as the AT-AT, is a snowspeeder, which does have an updated design and looks a lot better than the previous one. It's a lot more bricky, which I think does work very well, and it does have a lot more detail, as well as the E-Web, which has got an updated design and looks so much nicer than the previous version, which I think is very good. Now in the background they do use real AT-ATs, which I think is probably a flaw. I think the box art should have included more of this AT-AT, but you can't win everything. So included in the set there is a Luke Skywalker with his Rebel pilot outfit, and holding his lightsaber and a thermal detonator. There is General Veers, there are 2 AT-AT drivers and 2 snowtroopers. Now these snowtroopers, my phone just went off, the snowtroopers do not include any waist capes as far as I can see, which may be a disadvantage, but I cannot remember if it was the Imperial ones that had waist capes, or if it was just the First Order ones. I will go with the Mandalorian and the Child brickheads, which are brickheads, which are not released very often due to LEGO not releasing them with every year like they used to. They are now usually only promotional things, or if, you know, a new TV show comes out and everybody loves Baby Yoda, then they'll get a Mandalorian and the Child brickheads. So this does include the Mandalorian's first armor that we do see him in, which is not the full Beskar, it is the only part Beskar. And it does also include Baby Yoda in his little cot, or the Child as he is actually known in universe, in his little cot, so you can see him there. And it does look like a very nice brickhead. There's no minifigures included in the set because it is a brickhead. There is a clear piece under the cot for it to be floating. The Mandalorian's got his 2 guns and his binoculars. There is some... oh wait, is that printed? I think there's a printed piece on the side of the Mandalorian. And there's Baby Yoda, whose ears can be flipped either way to show his emotions. You can just plonk him into the cot if you wish, and you can plonk them onto their stands. And they do look very, very nice. But yeah, that's it for the brickheads. I'm personally not a fan of brickheads, but I do see the appeal of some of them. And that's that. So the final set on this list is the Razor Crest. It is £120, and again the prices will be on screen for dollars and also for pounds in the UK for all of these sets that I am showing. So the Razor Crest does include the Child, the Mandalorian, Grief Karga, IG-11 and a Scout Trooper. Now with the inclusion of the Scout Trooper, it does allude to the fact that this is a... need to cut that. Cut. Okay, so this does look like a very nice design. This set has been around for a while. It's only been able to be bought from September 1st, like all of the American sets. However, we've seen this set previously. We can see in this picture here that the Mandalorian is in the cockpit with Baby Yoda, and we can also see Grief Karga collecting the people frozen in carbonite. Now we can see some spring-loaded shooters on the little wing areas of the Razor Crest, and we can also see a weapon storage bit behind the cockpit. Now there is also an escape pod by the looks of things on the top of the set itself, which is quite nice, and there's a picture of Grief Karga inside of there, and there's also a little bed for the Mandalorian or Baby Yoda to lay in. There's also room for more spring-loaded shooters to reload your Razor Crest, and as far as I can tell, that's that. Now the background of this box is on Navarro, and it does have the Scout Trooper shooting IG-11, which does kind of imply that this is a set from the later half of the season when the Mandalorian has got full Beskar armor. However, the Mandalorian is wearing his episode 1 of the Mandalorian armor, or episode 1 and 2, maybe 3, can't really remember. But the Baby Yoda figure is very nice. It does look very good and very detailed, well, for what they can do on this small of an area. The Grief Karga minifigure does look good. It does include 2 pistols, which is very nice. And the IG-11 minifigure is very similar to IG-88, but you know, they are the same model of droid, so what can you do? And the Scout Trooper is an amazing design. I really wish that they'd include 2 of these and maybe a speeder for them to go on. However, you can use the speeder from the AT-80 set, or you can use another Scout speeder that you do have already. So this is like a little clip in. I did forget to actually include this in my main video that you're watching, so you'll go back to your regularly scheduled episode in a minute. I did forget to include the advent calendar, which you can see on screen now. I did forget to include that due to it not being on the LEGO website, but it will be released on September 1st in the UK. I do not know about the US because I do believe that the US and Canada are the only places where the sets are delayed, as far as I know. But the advent calendar does include an A-Wing, a TIE Interceptor, a Millennium Falcon, an Anakin's pod racer, a Snow Gunk droid with a carrot for his nose, a Poe in Christmas jumper or sweater, a Sith Trooper, a Porg, a Pit droid,
a Stormtrooper, which looks like it is not using the new helmet mold, the Lars Homestead, an X-Wing, a Republic frigate, a Snowspeeder, Darth Vader's castle with a mini Darth Vader's TIE Fighter included there. There is also Luke, Rey from episode 9, Luke from episode 4 by the way, a battle droid, a Tauntaun little build, and then we have a Razor Crest, a Dio with a little Santa's hat on a on a white 2x2 round plate, a CIS or Trade Federation control ship that is blown up in episode 1, the Hoth shield generator, which does include 4 of the shield generators, and finally is a Darth Vader with a Christmas jumper or Christmas sweater. And I think that is the only changed feature about the character, is the torso there. But that is it for the advent calendar. It will be $40 US or £35 and include 311 pieces and has a set number of 75279. That is it for this part of the set of the video. Back to your regularly scheduled video. Also, another note that I did forget to add previously, the Stormtrooper that I found on Brickset is the new helmet mold, so it doesn't look like that's going away anytime soon. And also this year there are the LEGO Star Wars mosaics. They're not mosaics really, they're the little, here we go, they are the brick sketches and they are confirmed to be released. There's a First Order Stormtrooper and there is also a BB-8, and that's that. So that's it for this wave of LEGO Star Wars sets. There are a few rumoured sets to be releasing later this year, however we do not have any images of those, so they will not be included in this video. If you do want to hear about those though, do comment down below and I will make a video of those next week. So overall, out of this entire wave, what do I think are really the best sets? The best sets in my opinion are the Anakin's Jedi Interceptor, the 501st Legion Clone Troopers set, the AAT, and the General Grievous Starfighter. Now the Death Star Final Duel is also an amazing set, and that would be on the list if it wasn't so expensive, and so would the ATAT and the Razor Crest. Now the Razor Crest I do think is a very good price, and also the ATAT is a good price, however for £140 that is a little bit of a price increase from what we last saw, which might make some people a little bit more hesitant to buy than previous ones, especially since it only contains 1,267 pieces. So those people that really are desperate for a good price to piece count might not like that set quite so much. Now personally, the sets that I feel like are worst in the wave are the Knights Ren transport ship and the Resistance ITS transport. Now I do also think that the Mandalorian and the Child Brickheads is one of the less good sets, purely because it's a Brickheads and Brickheads stopped because less people bought them. And also I do think that the General Grievous Starfighter is a little bit overpriced considering it is £75 and 487 pieces. So I think maybe if this set was £5 or £10 or dollars, if you want to go to dollars, £5 or £10 cheaper, then I think it would be a much better set to buy, because it does not include any unique minifigures, and the only one they are including is one that was used in a previous set. But overall, I do think that the beginning 3 sets of this list, the AAT, the 501st Legion Clone Troopers, and the Anakin's Jedi Interceptor, are amazing sets, and I will very look forward to getting my hands on them on August 1st, and hopefully some others of these sets so I can make reviews for a lot of American YouTubers. But that is it for this video. I would like to thank you all very much for watching, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Goodbye.